I'm going to be doing the Rantcast live at the Stand Comedy Club. That's next Thursday. That's right, on the 15th of January at 7 o'clock. If you wish to come, go to lewisblack.com for tickets, or there's also a link below. You can catch me there. The seating is limited. I don't think there's any more than 110, 120 seats. If you want to come, get it in now, and look forward to seeing you. Most importantly, send in those rants. Send in your rants. It's your opportunity to get it out there in front of an audience. Thank you so much, and I look forward to reading whatever you give me.
This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
Hello there, and welcome to the 249th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled, It's Saturday Morning, Let's Invade Venezuela. Yes, sirree. After last week's, my Rantcast, where I just went on and on and on, just was going to list all the things that do the year in review, but I couldn't even. There's so many things that I could barely keep up with it, and I was just kind of like overwhelmed by the whole notion of ending a year that is way beyond my comprehension. So to wake up today, I was ready to do a Rantcast, and I was going to go through a whole bunch of stuff that I collected here, all of these things, all of these articles during the year, and I was just going to go through them and read them and kind of catch up on what I'd missed last week, and like things like President Halt's 5 wind farms worth billions. But then today I wake up and boom, we've gone into hyperspace. We've gone into a different level. We've gone into something that I find to be indescribable, and I call it, I don't even know what to call it, okay? That's why I said the word indescribable, you fucking asshole, Lewis. It's unbelievable. It's beyond disturbing, okay? And they're all set. They've already got their explanation. Sure, we didn't have to go to Congress, because why would we go to Congress? Because we do that, we lose the element of surprise. And it's not really a war, it's really an arrest. But of course, we're arresting someone who happens to be the president of a sovereign nation, and even though he really isn't really in charge because he didn't really win an election, and everybody knows he didn't win an election, and we all know that. Everybody knows that, okay? So that was reason enough that we could just go in and do that because, he's as Mario Rubio, who's lost all sense of any kind of decorum, any kind of understanding of law and the rule of law and things we shouldn't be doing. And it's someone that you put in there thinking, well, he's been a senator, he's got to have some concept. He said that we finally have elected a president who keeps his word. And so if somebody crosses a line, he tells them he's going to come get him, well, he's going to come get him. And yes, he did. And meanwhile, they blew up boats, and yeah, apparently today was the first day of kind of like where I had heard any kind of litany of, that he did all of these things with these drugs. He was a narcoleptic. No, he was a narco-terrorist, but I just kept thinking, we went in and got him because he was a narcoleptic. There's my joke of the day. There's my joke of the week. There's my joke. That's the joke. There is no joke. This is beyond where we should be. This is not something we do as a country. We just blow up boats indiscriminately. We don't show any proof that these boats had anything on them, and so we are able to just go in and take him because, by God, he's been doing it, and even because Biden, who they don't trust fucking saying anything or doing anything or having anything to do with anything that it really matters. He's really just worthless to them, worthless to our president. Really incompetent on levels can't imaginable. However, he said that he was was trading drugs, and meanwhile we go through the thing where, but there's the guy in Honduras. Well, he didn't really do it because I had a couple of people tell me, that he was okay, so I could give him a pardon. Is anybody home anywhere anymore? He just does this, and the Democrats sit around dumbfounded. And there's no recourse but to accept it and take it right up the right up our ass. That's the whole thing. He's able to launch in here, right? And so that I sat around this morning, my head spinning, and then they all came out, Pete Hegseth and the rest of them. And the commander, Raisin Kane, oh boy, and yeah, I mean, look at the level of our military expertise, and it is stunning, okay? So we really don't have, it appears, a lot to worry about. The precision, well, let's see how precise, okay? All the facts aren't in yet. I'm hoping it seems to have been an absolutely precision, done right, like it was my grandfather, working on a diamond. That kind of fucking, just that kind of vision and ability to take that vision and do what needed to be done without any collateral damage. I certainly hope so, but that doesn't make it right. Okay, there has to be. There was 100 other ways, but we couldn't do those 100 other ways. It has worn me out. We're supposed to just find this acceptable. There is no argument. You can't argue. He wanted this, and he got it. And what are we doing it for? Oil. We're doing it for oil. We're doing it for oil. We're doing it for oil. And the price of oil started to come down yesterday. Geez, I wonder why. I wonder why. Watching all of them speak like that, Mario Rubio looking as if somebody had taken away his puppy or whatever the fuck. I don't even have words to describe what he looked like, and it was the whole thing. And our president going, we were all up way too late. It was really a success, and we really have to. And we're going to run the country. We're going to run the country. We're going to run the country because the oil. We got to get our oil companies in there so we can start extracting the oil, so we can be sure that the price of oil comes down here, and we can prevent it to going to Cuba, where they're now talking about going next, or Colombia. They're talking about going into Colombia. They're talking about going into Colombia. They're talking about going into Colombia. And no one is stepping forward. The Democrats are just sitting there on their hands with their fingers wedged firmly up their butts, as opposed to it's just incredible. Chuck Schumer's response, and as I've said it, and I've said it time and again, I'd rather watch him eat granola. I would rather have him say, my response to this invasion is, and then just have him eat granola or oatmeal with granola, as I like to do. I think that's a little healthier choice and gives it a little something other than dumping honey. God damn it. If the Democrats must have had a sense that this was going on, and they certainly had a point where they could have started dealing with it and come up with what happens if, and they have no answer whatsoever, none. They leave us any kind of sanity out there. They just go, no, just listen to that, and we're going to sit over here and wonder what we would have done. And even though it's immoral, it's illegal, it's not what nations do to each other. Is he a piece of shit? Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Of course he's a piece of shit. So why don't we? Because you don't do that. You don't, point back as he did to say, well, there's the Monroe Doctrine, and that certainly is something we're dealing with our sphere of influence. Fuck you, okay? These are independent countries. And if you want to do something, there's a whole other bunch of ways you might have gone about doing it, since you're so fucking creative. The only creativity he has is that he's got an army that can go in there and deliver on levels. And so now we've shown the world yet again. But everybody knew it, and I'm repeating myself because I can't believe that the Democrats had not a response. Just, this is what we're going to say. And it was, the president talking, droning on, and bringing Mario Rubio on and tell him about Cuba, and just so by the time it was over on Saturday morning, when most kids should be watching fucking cartoons, he had come up with this nonsensical reason that we were in there. and that we were flying him back. And everybody's kind of going, well, but it's really a brilliant strike, and we should really be prepped. No, what we should be is appalled, and we can't do this. And somebody's got to eventually say, no, we are not going to allow you to just do this. He's taking it over, I guess, because he's done so well in this country. He wants to experiment with some other ideas he has in another country. Huh? Seriously? He's going to run it? Then today Mario says, no, we're not going to run it? What's going to happen? We're just going to leave those people out there to dry. You have no prep for this? Okay, you can go in. We can do all sorts of other things. What we can do is go in, make an incisive strike. We can do that. We can kind of go after them with our military, but we've got no prep otherwise. You've got all of these people there that you could have sent in. They might have been able to do some. We can't do that. Go in there and try to figure out what could be the next step rather than going in there and doing something that is just illegal and immoral. Well, how do you know? Because I'm telling you. That's how I know. I know it because I feel it in my heart of hearts. When you see something that is illegal and immoral, you have to say something, and this is illegal and immoral, because that's not what people do. It's not what countries do to each other. But it'd be good. We got another place to put a football team. We got another place to put a basketball team. And we've got another place to put a soccer team, unless he decides that we're going to be playing, that football will be given to that, and then we'll come up with another name for what football is with us, because we play with our hands. It's what he said. That's our president, okay? It's the president of our country who has made this decision to go into another country and grab this guy. And meanwhile, no information about the Honduran president, none whatsoever, except for him saying the two guys said he's okay. So if there is this incredible wealth of evidence against him, against the Honduran president, but don't just say he did this. Fucking tell us what it is. And if there's this, at least minimally, we're going to find out what Maduro really is, a drug narco terrorist, and if he was dealing drugs, and we'll find out. Because there's a great case against him, because I know, I've seen the case, and it's really great, because I don't read, but I saw it, and I went like this, I put it against my face. And I listened to Chuck Schumer say nothing, and so I know I'm right. Oh, God. He's going to run it. Maybe he took it over. There was no sense of that it's, from what he had to say, that we did this because it was about drugs. None. And less each day. Not mentioned. My dog is barking in the background because he is very upset about it and wants to be the Democratic response. And I told him, you can't be. You're inferred. People are not going to listen to you. But that's what he has to say. I hope you can hear him. And if not, just know he's out there going, ow, ow, ow. And he's upset about it. And I don't know what else to do. I do know that they could elect him from a number of places in the United States. He could be elected from a variety of counties where he actually has more common sense than the person sitting in Congress. And I'm just going to go on and say that that's where I'm at. I'm at electing my dog, Sammy, and Sammy is pissed. You listen to that. Listen to the anger. I wish you can hear it. I don't know if you can. And I'd bring him in here, but he'll launch at the screen, and he will be very upset. And I really need to finish this up because I have things to do with people to see. But maybe, look, in the end, he might as well have said he took over Venezuela because he needed a place to put the Gazans, okay? He needed a place to put all of the displaced folks from Gaza, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to replace the people who left Venezuela with those who have now had to leave Gaza. And that's it. It's a perfect solution. And so I hope you enjoy the rants today. I hope you enjoy listening to them. And we're a little behind on what people might have been saying about this. but you'll probably be hearing him in the next few weeks. Know that I'm going to, I'm going to stay tuned because I'm going to give you a little something else to think about. Next week, next Thursday, I'll be doing a live Rantcast. The live rent is due at a place called The Stand, and I'm going to get you that information shortly. But mostly I want to thank you for listening. I really needed this today and yesterday, and I'm going to need it tomorrow and the day after, and I really wish it was funnier. I do. But I don't know how to make jokes out of something that is a joke and that is so insane that it takes the corners of my mind and just stretches them out to the point that I'm surprised that my lips and mouth don't just burst open and nothing but barking comes out. And I grow fur and become my dog's brother. All right. That's where I'm at. So we now have Venezuela. We've taken over Venezuela in really his first year of office. Just before that first year's over, he takes over Venezuela. God damn it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me share. Thanks for allowing me this privilege and the pleasure to spend time with you. I really need it. I hope it helps on some level. It does help me. I'm not sure how, but it helps me. Missy Trimble is enraged. It's too bad that the current invader-in-chief is such a classless buffoon that even during a tragedy, he can't be civil. You don't have to like someone personally, but when bad things happen, death of Rob and Michelle Reiner, Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis, etc., human empathy should kick in. Unless, of course, you were Donald Trump. He couldn't just shut up. No, he made some left-handed crazy uncle at the Thanksgiving table comments about Mr. Reiner's work, which had nothing to do with what had happened. Then, instead of shutting up, which would have involved taking the high road, he had to swing back around the next day and double down on his bullshit from the previous day. Can this human colostomy bag ever just shut up? Is he so hungry for attention that he will do or say anything about anyone regardless of the validity or the consequences? It's like he has diarrhea of the mouth. He is deteriorating by the nanosecond, and no one will step in and tell him to shut the fuck up. Instead, everyone is just content to sit around and listen to him rip people apart. Trump has no class, no filter, no taste, and no business being anything more than a night manager at a 7-Eleven. Yet, this guy is allowed to speak ill of the dead before their bodies are even cold. If you are a Hollywood type and were friends of the Reiners, or even just an admirer, fan, or just a decent fucking human being, and you can still say you support Trump, then you are part of the problem, and I do not want to know you. Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Missy Trimble. Way back, I took a Missy to the junior prom. But I don't think she's ever been this angry. I don't know. I haven't seen her in forever. And it would be funny if you were the Missy. Well done, well spoken, well said. And once again, anybody wants to defend it, which people on... when I said I had some comments, a comment in particular I made on Twitter, and there were people who attacked me for it, and so if those people or anyone who thinks that Missy's overstepped her bounds by talking about what was said by our esteemed president, please I'm saying to you, write it and I will read it. As I read this one, Diary of the Mouth. Boy, I haven't heard that one in forever. Here's one. It's all in caps, so I don't think I'm going to scream all the way through it, but I will go through it pretty loudly. Shannon, for your consideration every Sunday, millions. Here we go. That's her name. That's her last name. For your consideration every Sunday, millions. For your consideration every Sunday, millions of Christians pay 10% of their income to their churches for tax-free tithes. Imagine if all those good Christians gave their money to organizations that fund the government. Also, most football players make $1 million or more per game, but every weekend, millions of assholes spend hundreds to thousands of dollars of their dollars on seats for said football games. Finally, Christmas. Fuck off. Do you really believe that Jesus wants you to buy frivolous gifts for your friends and family while people without money are just hoping to make rent this month so they aren't homeless for Christmas? And I don't know if you upper-class citizens understand how painful it is to see your child on Christmas morning crying because Santa couldn't afford gifts and food. How do you ignore all of these things and go watch the game or go Christmas shopping? Selfish motherfuckers, you should all be ashamed. If you really gave a shit about others, you would do something real, okay? But as usual, you feel bad. But God forbid you don't have your new car and your big fucking house and spoil your ungrateful brats some more while poor mothers and fathers hide tears from their children that are loved just as much as yours and try to give them a reason why they don't matter as much as other children. Good job, people. Amazing how easily the less fortunate are dismissed as unworthy or simply unimportant. Thank you, Shannon, for your consideration. You know, all we can continue to do is try to point at what's going on. And I don't know. And then they just go, you're a socialist. Well, what do you want us to do? Quack, quack, conk. Stephen Sunnagel. Hey, Lewis, I love those Congress people who get in front of the TV and address a problem by referring to those in Congress as dysfunctional. Like you aren't one of them? Dumbasses. Of course they do so because they think most citizens won't get that point. Holy shit! They get up there and harp about local businesses causing the rise in prices when, matter of fact, the Speaker and the rest of those dysfunctional bodies are causing it with their spending. It's so funny to watch those little kids in Congress argue about who's right between them. I thought Barnum and Bailey's circus was out, but it's obviously still in business. Just renamed Congress. Well, Steve, thank you for sharing. Here's one for you math majors from Jerome Garcia. Here's a Christmas thought for you, Lewis. Okay, so Bob Cratchit, the guy Charles Dickens invented in 1843 to represent grinding poverty and exploitation. He made 15 shillings a week, working 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. That's 75 plus hours of soul-crushing clerical work. And here's where I lose my goddamn mind. In today's purchasing power, that's about $2.15 per hour. Okay, that's terrible. We'd be outraged. But by relative labor earnings, comparing what workers made then versus now, that 15 shillings translates to roughly 611 pounds per week in modern UK wages. If Cratchit worked our cushy 40-hour week, that's $21.44 per hour. But he works 75 hours, so that's actually $10.60 per hour in relative terms. Meanwhile, right now in America, federal minimum wage is still $7.25 a fucking hour. Hasn't changed since 2009. Let me repeat that. The minimum wage is less than what the Dickensian symbol of poverty was making in relative labor value. Charles Dickens wrote a ghost story to shame Victorian England about worker exploitation. And we looked at it and said, hold my beer. We've had 182 years of progress. Electricity, antibiotics, the internet, and we've somehow managed to make shit worse for millions of workers. Bob Cratchit worked one job and could afford a 4-room house for 8 people. Today, minimum wage workers can't afford a 2-bedroom apartment in any state working full-time. The man who needed supernatural intervention to get a Christmas bonus would look at our economy and say, holy shit, at least Scrooge eventually felt bad about it. God bless us, everyone, except the billionaires. They're doing fine. Thank you, Mr. Garcia, for that Christmas message. And well done with the math. And I think I'm going to watch that again tonight. My friend Mark Lynn Baker suggested I think it's Alexander or Alastair Sims version. It's the old version of it. And Mark, who I trust when it comes to a nice piece of work, really thinks that's the one to see. So, high time for a Christmas Carol. Michael Keeley, thank you for this. Fuck scam likely phone calls all fucking day. And what do they want? Medicare and Medicaid or funeral expenses. Funeral expenses? What the fuck do I care? I'll be dead. I'm not paying for that. I pay doctors to keep me alive. Why the fuck would I pay if they fuck up and I die? Huh? Let the fuckers who fucked up and let me die pay to bury me, you fuckers. Medicare and Medicaid, these idiots don't even know how old I am when they call, or if I already have coverage. Then they pass me off to some foreign country where some moron in a phone room wants to ask me stupid questions I can't understand because of their accent. Sometimes no one even answers after I say hello. Then they call back. What kind of new hell over my cell phone is this? Wow. Okay, Michael, they're going to be upset that you're yelling about their accents, but it's kind of amazing some of the time that we are going into I have to say, what did you say? What did you say? And they'll yell at you for talking about their accents, but you're not yelling about them. You're yelling about the company who hires them. Okay? It'd be lovely if they were, and it wouldn't be bad. An accent is fine if it's easy to understand over the phone, but a lot of the times it's not. Yeah, go ahead, yell about it. But that's the truth, okay? And it doesn't help, all right? It creates kind of a divide. Yes, a divide. And that's being kind, because I can't think of the word. A prejudice, really. It creates a prejudice. It's not their fault. It's the fault of the people who hired them. Miss K, that's the new economy. It's a K economy. They've been showing that this week, and I still don't quite understand it, where the middle class, I guess, meets in the middle, and then, or the lower class, I don't know. Stop it. Thank you for this, Miss K. A recent experience at a local grocery store sparks my rant. I stopped to pick up some weekly sales and found discounted items in the meat and produce section. And as I looked for the fastest lane, and there was the express lane of 12 items or less, I quickly counted my items in my cart. and it was under 12. I found myself behind a very fit woman in what looked like her exercise clothing, pushing a 2-kid baby stroller. She also had a young'un bouncing around, begging for a teddy bear she recently found in the floral section next to the express lane. Mom didn't say no, but handed the cute teddy bear to the cashier and said, "I don't want to buy this. I'm just trying to keep her happy." She then proceeded to pull out more than 12 items from the fancy stroller's pouch, and then apologized by saying, "Do you mind putting these back? I just let her grab whatever she wants because it helps keep her entertained." Really? Asking the express lane if they don't mind restocking more items than 12, which is over the polite fucking purchase limit? It's the fucking express lane, dipshit. Then the only thing she purchased was a single bottle of whatever fucking electrolyte, low calorie, 0 calorie, caffeine, extra caffeine, fucking energy drink it was. I can't remember if it was fucking green or blue, because I really don't give a shit if she walked home drinking it or stuffed it up her fucking ass. Sad thing is, in reality, the store probably didn't restock most of it, like the refrigerated items, for safety concerns. They probably went in the garbage. And that entitled dipshit is probably one of those that thinks that poor people don't deserve their SNAP, food stamp, benefits. Fuck! I can't wait for the recipe that makes shit cake more tasty. Well, thanks for your kind words at the end. Thank you, Miss K. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.